Okay. Okay. So we were discussing about the content of research proposal. Title, you already submitted your title. Okay, I have your title, and we have discussed in detail in the class about the title. Okay, that it should be short, it should be self-explanatory, it should not be a single word, it should reflect your study properly, and it should not be a conclusion, and there should not be any contradiction in your title and methodology. Okay, and now you are good enough to make your title because you already submitted your title of the study. But if you want to make some improvement in your title, that would be good. Okay. Next is the abstract of the research proposal. So normally it summarizes the important element of the research proposal in 100 word to 300 words. So if someone is not interested to read your whole research proposal, they will just look at your title and read your abstract. Then they will know what you want to do. Okay, so this is just a brief summary of your research proposal. Then the next element is the introduction. Okay, so in introduction, you will discuss the background of the study. Okay, you will highlight the nature of the problem. You will also discuss the significance of your study and the structure of the study. For example, I discussed just like literacy in Pakistan. Kiran and Fahim and Uzair, are they present in the class? Yes, just say yes. Kiran, Fahim and Uzair.
फरहीन प्रेजेंट नहीं है सर, वो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में होते हैं तो वहाँ इंटरनेट नहीं है अभी उनका।
अच्छा, भाई किरण और उजैर।
जी सर।
Okay, mute your mic.
Okay sir.
Okay, so just like their topic is literacy in Pakistan. So this means in the introduction, they will discuss the background of literacy in Pakistan. When we got independence, what was the literacy rate, and then how it improved. I think it was just 16% literacy rate, and then till now still half of the population is illiterate. So they will discuss the background and then current situation in the introduction, and then they will discuss the significance of the study. So same is for other topic, if you want to, just like impact of FDI on unemployment, they have to discuss the background of the foreign direct investment and the background of the unemployment. Okay, and then they have to highlight the nature of the problem, how FDI was impacting the unemployment. This is just journal, no? This is not. So in the introduction, and then they will discuss the significance of this study, why it is important to study the impact of FDI on unemployment in Pakistan. So highlight the importance and how this study would be useful for policymakers. They will discuss. Okay, so I think it is clear to you how you will write the introduction of your research proposal. Next content of the research proposal is the review of literature. So you will review the theory and you will review some previous empirical studies. Okay, just like there is a topic here, effect of investment on economic growth of Pakistan. Saifullah, Suhair, and Muhammad Ali Khan. Muzammil Ali Khan. Yes, they are here. Yes. Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you see, just like their topic is effect of investment on economic growth of Pakistan. So in the review of literature, so they, you have to discuss what economic theory says. Okay, for all other topic also. So I'm just giving you one example so that you will understand how you will write your review of literature. For example, in their case, they will explain in review of literature what economic theory says about the effect of investment on economic growth in general. Okay, then they will find out some articles related to effect of investment on economic growth in Pakistan, and they will discuss their findings. So in review of literature, we discuss the theory, economic theory, and then we also discuss the previous empirical studies related to your research, their finding, their conclusion, their implication, what methodology they use, what were the variables of their models. Okay, so all this we discuss in your review of literature. Okay, next component of research proposal is the research question. So there should be a research question of your study, and you have to find out the answer for the research question. Okay, for example, if there is a study effect of unemployment on crime, okay, so you can make a research question of your study. What is the effect of unemployment on crime in Pakistan? This could be a research question. Then you have to define your research objective. For example, first objective could be what is the level of unemployment in Pakistan, and what the second objective is to study the nature of crimes in Pakistan, and then the third objective would be how unemployment and crime rates are related, how unemployment rate and crime rate are related in Pakistan. So these could be the objective. So basically the study is the effect of unemployment on crime, and then you made your research question that what is the effect of unemployment rate on crime rate in Pakistan. So this would be your research question. Then in the objectives, you will say you will see the trend of unemployment in Pakistan. This is one objective. Then you will see the trend of crime rate in Pakistan. This is second objective. And then the third objective would be how unemployment and crime rates are related in Pakistan. So these could be three objectives. So you can make your objective. I think now it's clear to you how you will formulate your research question and your research objective. So research question would be one. Okay, for you there should be only one. Normally we have one or two research questions, but because you are beginner in research, so there should be only one research question of your study. Okay, so all research, these case study project, make sure that there will be only one research question, but there will be more than one research objective. There could be two objective, three objective, okay, that you will look at, just like I explained in this study of crime and unemployment. Why we make a research question? Because we want to be within the domain of that research. If there is no research question, then maybe you would be looking many things, and then you will not come up with a concrete conclusion. That's why we make a research question, to get the answer of that research question in your research. Next is the research objective. This I discussed. Okay. Then we make hypothesis. Okay, so it's a statement of the relationship. So if you are using a methodology in which you have a model, okay, if you are using a regression model, or if you want to make a test for hypothesis, okay, so I can make one hypothesis that unemployment has a positive effect on crime rate in Pakistan. This is my hypothesis. Okay, so then I can test this hypothesis. So I can calculate the correlation and then I can test the correlation, and then if there is a strong positive significant correlation, then I will accept this hypothesis that there is a positive relationship between unemployment and crime rate in Pakistan. Okay, so and if it is a regression model, okay, if you are making a regression model, so then you have parameters, and then we make the assumption about the sign of the parameters. We can expect a positive sign of the parameter, or we can expect a negative sign of the parameter, and that expectation is basically the hypothesis. Okay, just like if you are making a model, regression model, GDP is your dependent variable and investment is independent variable. So then our hypothesis is that investment has a positive effect on economic growth, on GDP. So the parameter which is attached with the investment variable in the regression model, we can say that we are expecting a positive sign for that parameter. So because our hypothesis is that there is a positive effect of investment on economic growth. So our null hypothesis would be that there is no effect of investment on economic growth. So it means the beta coefficient or parameter which is attached with the investment variable is 0. And the alternative hypothesis is that there is a positive effect of investment on economic growth. So in the hypothesis, we have null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis, and we test the hypothesis, and on the basis of the test of hypothesis, we accept the hypothesis, null hypothesis, or we reject the null hypothesis. This you have studied in your statistics course. I think you remember it. Next component or content of your research is proposal is methodology. So you have to be clear what method you will use. Just like there was a question in the beginning of the class, is it necessary that we have to use some model? No, it is not necessary. If you feel that you are not good in regression analysis, if you are weak in econometrics, so no need to use regression analysis. You can just use the descriptive statistics. In the descriptive statistics, you can use measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion, and then you can use some correlation. You can do some correlation analysis. Okay, you can plot some graph. Okay, bar graph. You can plot some line graph. Okay, you can make some table, data tables. So without going to regression analysis, you can do. And if you go to my website, there is a paper that is not using any regression analysis. I will show you. Let me share that paper. You will see, I will show you that paper. Then you will see there is no estimation. Without estimation, there is analysis. And that is my research which I conducted during my postdoc study